Good morning, Antelope Valley. Good morning. This is another episode of Your Home in the AV. How is everybody doing today?
We're doing great, George. How you doing?
I am absolutely fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Doing well, doing well.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, go blue.
Go Blue. Yes. Back-to-back champions. Can you believe that? That was awesome. Yeah. Especially at the end, it's wow, they put it together, and that's what they're known for, They're hitters. That's what it is. They're hitters. And I'm surprised because Don Mattingly was on the other side, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And I think he was the one, when he was with the Dodgers, he was the one who taught them how to hit. Mm-hmm. Because once he got to the Dodgers, we were hitting like crazy, and then he left. I think when he left that knowledge with the Dodgers because they're still hitting.
I hear that one of the guys that was playing is from Hart High School, right?
Glasnow, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he went to Hart High School, played at Hart Hart Pony.
And that's where I graduated in 1988 from Hart High.
Okay.
That's where I grew up.
My sons are both Hart High graduates, and one actually played on the same youth football team, with Tyler.
And did you guys know that Kika played here for the Jethawks?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he played here for the Jethawks too. So it's like almost a hometown boy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Carlos, you got any updates for us today?
Yes,
This is brought by Carlos Price Energy Realty.
In Palmdale, the Antelope Valley region today, the median price we have 500, give or take. For example, in Redfin reports about 500K. Zillow reports at 502K. That's the median price. Typically, home value. The inventory is creeping a little bit. The average days on the market is about 40 to 50 days range. So what does that mean? It means that the market is stabilizing and it's no longer on hyper-growth track. The seller must adjust to the sliding more negotiation because things are changing a little bit, So that's what's happening up here in the Antelope Valley, which that's where we work the most. The interest rate today, FHA is 5.75. The down payment assistance is 6.99. The conventional is in the mid-6. They went up a little bit from last week. So, but it's still not bad at all. There's a lot of other programs that are coming out. One of the new programs that's coming up is Employment Profit and Loss, or FHA BOA, which BOA means verification of employment. So that way they don't have to go through the whole process of paperwork and everything. As wise, we are going to interview another agent tomorrow, and a couple more new agents that are coming aboard hopefully this week that we're going to interview, and that way we can continue growing energy. So that's all I have for today.
So what you're saying, so the prices are stabilizing.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Holidays are coming up. How is that going to affect the sales of homes? Because typically, I know when holidays come around, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything big, stuff like that. So I tend to feel others feel the same.
Most of the people think that way, George. And one of the things that I concentrate the most when the holidays come with my team is to let them know they need to get up there and explain to people the best time to buy is the holidays for a couple of reasons. One, you can give your family a present, and what better present than a house? Better than a toy, better than anything else. Two, basically a lot of the agents go on vacation, so you need to take advantage of that. So you're going to be more busy because you're going to be here during their gone in vacation. Three, the prices are going to be able to people to negotiate better because since there's not that much activity, they can get a better deal. So I always tell my agents, when everybody's going north, you go south. When everybody goes west, you go east.
That's solid information. Thank you, Carlos. So today we have a termite inspection specialist, Wayne Wolven with All Southland Home Inspections / Termite Inspections.
Again,
Correct?
It's All Southland services for the termite company. Okay, so we had to kind of change it up a little bit.
Sure. Okay. All right. That's understandable. So tell us about yourself. How'd you get into termite?
Okay, good question. About 6 years ago, I was in a meeting in Indianapolis of other home inspectors, and they started talking that this market was coming, so that we needed to expand a little bit in our reach of businesses so that we had work and jobs for our employees. I mean, we don't want to lay off any employees. I certainly don't want to. Okay. So one of the most common things for us is termite inspections used to be done by the seller during the seller process. And at some point, you guys probably know better when, it changed. So now we have buyers actually doing the termite inspection. So when we're in there doing a home inspection, we can actually do their termite inspection at the exact same time. So it saves the realtor time because they don't have to go twice. Okay. And they're only dealing with one person, one set of personalities. And again, everything that you do during a termite inspection, other than poking and prodding, which you can't do during a home inspection. So during both, we can do all that, and we're already doing it anyways.
So would you be offering both services at the same time if it was feasible?
We are a one-stop shop, so we can do every one of our services at the same time, and there's multiple more of that. I mean, once we did termite, we had mold repairs too, remediation too, because it's almost the same as termite remediation.
So there's a couple myths going around, Antelope Valley's too hot for termites, or Antelope Valley's too cold for termites. Can you dispel that? Can you clarify that up for us?
Okay, I'll give you rough numbers. Yeah, is termites better by the ocean? The answer, yes, absolutely. That moisture they really love. But there is drywood termites up here, okay? A lot of it comes in from the wood that's actually put up. And then they live inside of the wood for years, building their nests and growing, and then all of a sudden they pop out, okay? The other thing is you have subterraneans. They don't really care what the temperature is outside unless it's snowing. They don't like snow, okay? So, yeah, you can have both here. And I would say the amount of homes that have termites here, somewhere in 4 and 10. Okay, California is said to be 5 and 10. If you were in the South Bay, it'd be more like 7 and 10.
Okay.
One of the things that he was mentioning, that kind of scares me a little bit. If the termite guy is local, it's okay for the buyer to pay if that's what they choose to do. But for me, when the termite guy is from outside of the area, it's kind of scary because I feel that, these guys are so used to the termite and everything in San Fernando because of the moisture, like he was explaining and everything, that somehow there was fine issues over here. A lot of times I prepare for the seller to pay for the termite up here, and that we can have a local person to do that. It's kind of scary when you get in inspections from down below that they don't know this area. And it's a different thing to do up here, like the way they're used to it,
Okay.
Yeah, Carlos, I would tell you that the termites are the exact same termites, whether they're an AV, so Western drywood, Western subs, it's the same. Yeah. They're exactly the same. How to find them is exactly the same. There is no difference between doing an inspection in the Bay Area versus doing an Antelope Valley area. There really is no difference whatsoever. Okay.
Well, the reason why I was asking that is because, we had a case like that, and we sent our own people out, and our people didn't find anything. So I understand that the inspection is very similar, but I don't know how our people were not able to find anything and show us all the evidence that there was nothing in there to what this guy was saying. So what I'm saying is a lot of times some of these persons, they can say that, and that way they can create more business for them or more work. Not everybody's the same, I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but that's what's scary when you don't find somebody that's local, because that local person is going to do the right thing. And we got to protect the client. If it is there, it's there, and we need to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. So I know for me, if I'm walking around my house and I see some sawdust, I know I haven't been sawing wood. So typically that's something that I would look out for when I'm around my own home. Is that correct?
I would say looking for frass, of course, termite poop, is a strong consideration whether or not you have termites. Okay. Sawdust in general might be termite ants. There's termite ants. There's other things that actually eat wood. So we'd have to be looking into other types of insects that are actually eating the wood.
So what typically do you find out here? What is it? Is it mold? Is it bug infestation? What do you find out here in the homes?
Mostly drywood termites. Okay. And we'll find them in imported pieces of wood generally. So patio covers, things like that. Usually when the builders come in, they have good wood. If it's inside the house, it's probably more of a subterranean type of thing coming in from the ground. And those are harder to get rid of because they don't live in that wood. So a dry wood lives in the wood, okay? A subterranean lives 100 yards away and makes tunnels all the way there, and they live underground. And they come up, and they're the hardest ones to find.
Yeah.
Wow. So are they different? Do they look different? Do they look similar? How do you tell the difference?
Okay, they do look different. Okay, we study classes in how to identify them, but we generally don't see the bodies. Okay, we see the damage. Okay, once we see the damage, then we can go to some proper type of remediation. We can generally, like if it's a sub, we're going to create a barrier around the house. If you really want to get rid of the nest, then there's other ways to get rid of the nest too.
Okay. So what advice would you give to buyers who are potentially looking to buy out here?
Okay, great question. I would say if you're worried about termites, you do a termite inspection. If you're not worried, then don't do one. Okay, and quite simply, if you're concerned, then do the inspection.
So would you say that obviously, you know, us as real estate agents, we promote home inspections. So would you say that the home inspector might find evidence of that and then give that information to the agent and the buyer so the buyer could then make a decision whether or not to get a termite inspection?
Yes, they might. Okay, but they're not responsible to. Okay, same thing with mold. A home inspector is not doesn't really have to discover that you have mold. Okay, because that's not what is included in a home inspection. Okay, but if they see it, they should tell you. So in our reports, we won't call it termite, but we'll probably strongly suggest that they actually get a termite inspection, whether it's with us or somebody else. Great, we did our best due diligence for the client.
Okay. All right. That's
and I am different, so because I do both. In Southern California, it's not very often that you do both. Northern California, they all do both.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions you want to ask him, Carlos?
No, you know what? Basically, he covered everything, and you know he's right. You don't find that many inspectors to do both, which that's good. The Wayne does both, you know. And like he say, you know, even if they see it, they can say it. They can suggest or advise for you to get whatever report from roof, termite, or whatever else that they think they can be in there. So they cannot directly tell you there's termite. They're small. They can just suggest, you know, to get in a professional person to dedicate themselves to do that kind of work.
Okay.
Now, let's straighten it out, though. It's not a termite inspection. It's a WDO. The state of California requires a WDO. So that will come up with any type of wood-eating organisms, those results. So it won't be just termite, okay? So if you have dry rot, it's going to show up on the report, too. It differs by state. That's just what state of California requires.
So all Southland services, you are certified as a home inspector and you're certified as a termite inspector. Is that correct?
Kind of. All Southland Home Inspection, 2 different companies, there's 2 different corporations, okay, is a certified home inspection company. All Southland Services is a license by the state of California. So we have a structural pest control license. And we mean structural, like if there's a repair to be done, we can do it. We don't have to call a GCN or anything else. We can do it. Now, some things we pass because we'd rather give it to a GC.
That's good to know. So it's really like a all-around one-stop shop. So if you come across some eaves that have dry rot, or you could easily fix that for the clients and then get the problem resolved rather quickly.
Yeah, we just actually replaced a whole set of eaves. So we had to take them all down, cut them all off, and put them all back up again. Okay, so yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So do you have anything that you wanted to say to the audience?
Yes. If you're concerned with any type of services that are around a home inspection, you should ask your realtor to get that for you, whatever it is. If you're concerned about your roof, then a home inspection would cover it. But tell you the truth, if you're really concerned about it, call your professional in, whatever it's for. If it's for mold, it's for termite, for anything, just ask your realtor to call them in. They should be more than wanting to do that.
Okay. Carlos, do you have anything you wanted to tell the audience? And
You just said it right now, which that's what we're trying to bring these programs to the audience, is to show them that we have pretty much everything. As it is, we have brought an escrow, lender, title, home inspection, the termite inspection. So we have everything. Whenever they use us as the agents, we have all these people behind us to help us out, to make sure that we're taking care of the buyer and we're taking care of the seller. So that's the greatest thing. I know there's a lot of agents that have the same thing, but we have really close relationship with all these people that will be in aboard to this program.
that's awesome. It's relationships is what build, that's what America's built on. So that's pretty good. I like to hear that. Well, I know that we are ending our time here, and I wanted to thank you guys for coming today. Please like, share, and follow so we can keep this going. Thank you to Wayne Wolven, All Southland Home Inspection, and All Southland Services. Appreciate you giving us that information. It's very good information. We are trying to help the AV community when they're purchasing homes to be more knowledgeable of what to look for, so they'll be a more knowledgeable buyer. Again, please like, share, and follow. And thank you to George Ventura for making this happen.